Even though the garden's not ready yet, we still found some other edible plants on the island.
What happened to the Alaskan Bush People? Their 2025 transformation is shocking a family that chose the wilderness over the whirlwind Alaskan. Bush People first aired in May 2014. Viewers were stunned by the story of the Brown family, 9 people, who had chosen to leave behind modern comforts to live deep in the wilderness of Alaska. While others chased city life, high-speed internet, and 9-to-5 jobs, the Browns hunted wild animals, built their own shelter from forest wood, and learned how to survive with nothing but each other. The show gave millions of people a window into a world they had never imagined. The family built their home with their own hands and lived off what they could find: berries, mushrooms, fish, and meat from the wild. Their lifestyle was not just about survival, it was about love, loyalty, and believing that family comes first no matter how hard life gets. Fans watched them grow, struggle, and adapt to the challenges of nature, but as years passed, their story took turns no one expected. The biggest shock came not from a wild bear or a blizzard, but from within the family itself. The journey that began with hope and adventure slowly turned into one filled with heartbreak, health battles, and life-changing decisions, and by 2025, the Browns were almost unrecognizable from the family we first met in the Alaskan woods. The sudden loss that changed everything. In February 2021, everything changed. Billy Brown, the head of the family, the man who taught his children to live off the land, passed away suddenly after suffering a seizure at their North Star Ranch in Washington. He was 68 years old. His death was a painful moment, not just for the family, but for millions of fans around the world. Billy wasn't just the leader of the Brown clan. He was the spirit of the show. His strong voice, his love for the wild, and his deep faith in family made him unforgettable. After his death, his son Bear Brown shared an emotional message online. He wrote, "He was our best friend, a wonderful and loving dad, granddad, and husband. He lived his life on his own terms, off the grid and on the land." The cause of death was later confirmed to be a heart attack. For years, Billy had quietly suffered from heart and lung problems, but he kept fighting to stay strong for his family. His passing left a deep hole in their lives and marked a turning point for the entire series. Without their father, the Browns had to find new ways to move forward, but the pain of losing him never truly went away. Amy Brown's brave battle with cancer. As if losing Billy wasn't enough, the Brown family was hit with another devastating challenge. In April 2017, Amy Brown, the mother and heart of the family, was diagnosed with stage 3 lung cancer. Doctors gave her only a 3% chance to survive. It was a terrifying moment. Amy, who had always been the gentle, nurturing presence in their wild world, was now facing a life-threatening illness. The family was forced to make a hard decision. They left their Alaskan homestead and moved to California so she could get treatment. For people who had always avoided the modern world, this change was huge, but they did it for Amy. They never left her side. Fans of the show saw a different kind of survival during this time. It wasn't about hunting or building a cabin. It was about holding on to hope in the face of fear. Through chemotherapy, hospital stays, and pain, Amy kept fighting. By 2018, her cancer went into remission. It was nothing short of a miracle. In 2025, fans got another scare when Amy was rushed to the hospital again. But her son Bear confirmed she had recovered, and just a few weeks later, she shared a selfie from a hike on Instagram proving she was still strong, still living, and still smiling. Matt Brown's struggle to heal. Matt Brown, the eldest of the Brown children, has faced battles that go beyond the wilderness. While the others stayed in the spotlight, Matt quietly stepped away after season 8 of the show. In 2016, he entered rehab for alcohol addiction. For someone raised in nature, where everything is simple and clear, Matt's struggles felt complicated and painful, but he didn't give up. After completing rehab, he started a new life in California and launched his own YouTube channel. There, he began sharing stories about his journey, his past, and his efforts to stay clean and rebuild his life. He also talked about his deep love for fishing and hunting skills he had learned as a child, growing up in the forest. His channel now has thousands of followers who support him, not just as a Brown family member, but as a man trying to heal and grow. In one shocking story, Matt revealed he had once put gunpowder in a jar and placed it in a fridge, which led to a dangerous explosion and a hospital visit. The moment was a wake-up call. Today, Matt continues to live a quieter life, far from the cameras, but close to nature. His journey is not about fame, it's about finding peace. Bam Bam's quiet love story. Joshua Bam Bam Brown has always been the most private of the Brown siblings. When the cameras were on, he kept his words few and his emotions close, but in 2016, fans were surprised to learn he had fallen in love. Her name was Allison Kagan, and she had worked behind the scenes on the show as a producer. Their friendship quietly turned into romance, and the two began building a life together. Unlike the rest of the family, Bam Bam didn't want to stay in the spotlight. He stepped away from public life and even social media, only giving rare updates to his followers. One of their biggest projects was buying and renovating an old ferry boat together. It became a symbol of their love, strong, steady, and adventurous. Though they haven't confirmed marriage or children, their bond seems unbreakable. In a family filled with loud drama and big emotions, Bam Bam's story stands out for its calm and quiet strength, while other members hint at returning to Alaska someday. Bam Bam and Allison seem content with their private world, wherever it takes them. Bear Brown's life of highs and lows. Bear Brown, known for his wild energy and fearless nature, has had one of the most dramatic journeys in the family. In March 2020, he became a father when his ex-girlfriend Raven Adams gave birth to their son, River Anthony. The moment brought joy to the family, as it marked the next generation of the Alaskan Bush People. But Bear's road to fatherhood wasn't easy. His relationship with Raven was full of ups and downs, breakups, reunions, and even legal issues. In 2025, Raven filed for a restraining order, claiming Bear had threatened her with a gun and was abusing substances. Bear denied the claims, but the incident cast a shadow over his public image. Despite the drama, Bear has remained committed to his son. He often shares photos and videos with River, showing moments of love, adventure, and bonding. He even plays with film production and makes short videos, keeping his creative side alive. In April 2025, Bear pulled an April Fool's prank where he pretended to cut off part of his finger, later apologizing when fans got upset. Whether fans love him or question his choices, Bear remains one of the most talked about members of the Brown family, and his story is far from over. Gabe Brown's journey into fatherhood. Gabe Brown has changed more than most. Since the early days of the show, once known as the fun-loving, artistic middle child, Gabe has now fully stepped into the role of husband and father. He married Raquel Rose Pontella in 2019, and the couple now has 2 children together. Their relationship has been mostly private, but Gabe has spoken openly about how fatherhood has changed his life. He wants to give his kids the same sense of love and adventure he grew up with. For Gabe, the wilderness is still home, but now it's also a place where he teaches his children to be strong, kind, and connected to nature. During a hard time in the family, when his mother was battling cancer and he himself was recovering from a strep infection, Gabe stayed apart from her to protect her weak immune system. The sacrifice showed his deep love and sense of responsibility. Today, Gabe balances his role as a family man with his occasional appearances related to the show. Though he's more grounded now, his playful spirit and love for the outdoors still shine through. The future of the Alaskan Bush People. So, what now? In 2025, Bear Brown addressed rumors that Alaskan Bush People had been canceled. He clarified that the show was officially on hiatus for now. There are no new episodes planned, but the legacy of the Browns lives on through their social media, personal projects, and public updates. The family has changed in big ways. Some have moved to California. Some have stayed closer to the land. Some fight battles in silence. Others still share pieces of their lives online. But what remains is the spirit that first captured the world's attention, a belief in living differently, loving deeply, and surviving together. Whether or not the show returns, one thing is clear: the Brown family's journey is still unfolding, and fans will always be watching, waiting, and wondering what comes next. The rise and fall of a famous family. For years, the Alaskan Bush People captured the hearts of millions. This unique family, led by patriarch Billy Brown, seemed to live far away from the modern world, surviving off the land in the wilds of Alaska. They fished their own food, built their own shelters, and followed their own rules. People were fascinated by their lifestyle, their bond, and the love they had for one another. It didn't take long before the Discovery Channel turned their lives into a full TV series. Starting in 2014, what began as a show about survival turned into something much more: a story about growth, struggle, love, and fame. But now, in 2025, everything is different. Some members have left the bush. Others have faced heartbreak, illness, and legal battles. What really happened to this famous family? How did they go from Alaska's most mysterious clan to a scattered group facing shocking life changes? Their journey from wilderness fame to modern-day troubles is as emotional as it is surprising. Noah Brown's love story ends in heartbreak. Noah Brown, one of the younger brothers in the family, was always seen as clever and gentle. Born on July 18, 1992, Noah was only 20 when the show started. Fans watched him grow from a shy young man into a loving husband and father. In 2018, Noah married Rain Alicia Darkcloud in a private ceremony. Soon after, the couple welcomed their first son, Elijah, in early 2019. Then in 2021, their second son, Adam, was born. Their love story was shared online and even became a major focus of the later seasons of the show. People loved seeing the family grow and change. But in January 2025, Noah and Rain shocked everyone with a painful announcement they were separating after 6 years of marriage. Rain shared the news in a heartfelt TikTok video, while Noah followed with his own message, saying, "We just wanted you to hear this from us." The couple's openness earned respect, but the news left fans heartbroken. As they move forward with their lives apart, many wonder what led to the split and how it will affect the rest of the Brown family. Snowbird Brown's hidden health battle. While some family members dealt with emotional heartbreak, others faced terrifying health problems. Amora Jean Snowbird Brown, better known as Bird, has always been private and quiet. Born in November 1994, she was already 18 when the show began. Unlike her siblings, she didn't join social media right away. In fact, it wasn't until much later that she created her Instagram, where she now shares updates with over 190,000 followers. But in 2022, Bird revealed something that shocked fans. After suffering from ongoing stomach pain, she visited a doctor at her family's insistence. There, she learned she had a massive tumor in her abdomen. The doctors had to act quickly, though the cameras didn't capture it due to COVID restrictions. Bird underwent surgery to remove the large tumors. Thankfully, they were not cancerous. However, doctors warned that there's a more than 50% chance the tumor could return and that it could turn cancerous in the future. In April 2024, she gave fans an update. "I have some tests coming up, but so far, nothing has come back." Her honesty and strength touched many fans. As she continues her recovery, people everywhere are rooting for Bird and praying that her health stays strong. Rain Brown's journey into adulthood. When the show began, Raindrop Brown, called Rain by her family, was only 10 years old. Born on November 23, 2002, Rain quickly became a fan favorite. She was kind, curious, and always had something wise to say. As the youngest member of the Brown family, viewers watched her grow up on television. Over the years, she turned into a strong and independent young woman. In 2024, Rain made headlines by revealing her relationship with a chef named Josiah Lorton. She shared that they met while she was working as a waitress, and he was the head chef. "We were fast friends," she wrote on Instagram, and slowly fell madly in love. Though she denied being married in mid-2023, she later confirmed in December that they had secretly tied the knot. She even changed her name on social media to Rain Lorton. With over 400,000 Instagram followers, Rain often shares sweet updates about her life, her love, and her dreams. Her fans are happy to see her doing well, especially after years of watching her grow up in a challenging world. But even with her joy, life in the Brown family remains far from peaceful. Leaving the wild, a new life in Washington for most of the show, the Brown family lived in the remote wilderness of Alaska. Their lifestyle was raw, real, and filled with danger. But eventually, things changed. Health issues, legal problems, and the need for better resources led the family to move. They left the freezing bush behind and settled in Washington state. There, they bought a 435-acre property called North Star Ranch. Though they still tried to live off the land, the environment was less harsh and more accessible. Some siblings stayed close to the family land, while others moved into towns or cities. As they aged, they also found new passions. Matt Brown became an artist, creating work inspired by nature. Noah focused on making custom tools. Bam Bam got his captain's license and worked in marine jobs. Bear turned to extreme sports and hinted at launching an outdoor adventure brand. Gabe became a carpenter and helped local communities with his skills. The Browns even started selling merchandise and doing public speaking events. While they changed their surroundings, they never fully left behind their wild roots. Still, not everything has been easy. Behind the scenes, trouble was brewing. The legal storm and quiet cancellation of the biggest shocks came when the Alaskan Bush People was quietly removed from Discovery Channel's active lineup. No big announcement, no final farewell. Fans were left confused. But the reason might lie in a lawsuit filed in 2021, just 2 months after Billy Brown's death. Billy's former business partner, Robert Morgan, sued his estate for $500,000. Morgan claimed that Billy had promised him 10% of all income from books, shows, and other creative works. The legal documents stated that Billy never paid. In 2024, Amy Brown testified in court and referred to the show in the past tense. It was a quiet confirmation that Alaskan Bush People had ended with season 14, filmed in 2022. Discovery Channel has not posted any new upgrades since September 2022. While some fans still hold out hope, it seems the network has moved on. The cancellation was a major loss for longtime viewers, many of whom had followed the family's journey for over a decade. Drama, rumors, and family tension as if heartbreak and lawsuits weren't enough. The Brown family also had to deal with rumors and public criticism. Some viewers claim that the family never really lived full-time in the Alaskan wilderness. Locals reported seeing them staying in hotels or nearby towns during filming. Even worse, in the past, the family faced 20 for criminal charges for lying about living in Alaska to receive government aid. Billy Brown defended his family, calling their critics Bobs in the basement, people who sit behind screens and spread hate. But the controversies didn't stop. In August 2024, Noah and his wife filed for a protection order against Rain, claiming she had harassed them. Although the court denied the request, the damage was done. The once united family appeared to be falling apart. Then in early 2025, Noah and Rain announced their separation, adding more pain to an already difficult time. These personal battles, combined with public pressure, made it clear that life after the cameras wasn't getting any easier. A glimmer of hope, the next generation. Despite all the struggles, one family member is still dreaming of a comeback. In 2024, Bear Brown hinted at a possible spin-off called Alaskan Bush People, behind the scenes. He also mentioned a YouTube series called The Next Generation of Alaskan Bush People, the idea to document his return to Alaska and reconnect with the wild. But there's a catch: he's asking fans to donate money to help make it happen. Bear's passion and energy have always been a big part of the show, and some fans are excited by the idea of a new chapter, whether or not it becomes reality. It shows that the spirit of adventure still lives on in some of the Browns. The family now lives in a small town called Tonasket, Washington, close to the Canadian border. Their 400-acre land is where they continue to rebuild their lives. Billy once said, "It's almost like being born again," and Amy added, "The good Lord has given us a second chance." Whether the family stays in the spotlight or fades quietly into the background, their story has already left a deep mark on viewers across the world.